stand as they come in. I think the young ladies go up front. I think just in terms of just production so far, in terms of just way better in terms of growth and in terms of stature. I like her in terms of her hop set. As we set her in motion as well. I just read that one in terms of longevity, getting going and just being a little bit farther in terms of life and production down the road. To the young man's go in second. I think that one's probably a little more busted open up front. And I think if you want to project these ones going long term, maybe just not where they are right now in terms of stature and in terms of growth. But I could see that one maybe just getting there in terms of rib cage and in terms of just size and capacity and growth. I guess just right now at this particular age and their particular size, I just don't know maybe if her hind leg's going to hold up just quite as good as the one right up front. And she just has just a little extra added step to her hind leg there. But I think two really good ones that are production oriented and have plenty of life left to go. Let's give both of these a round of hand.
That was our senior kid class. The first blue, Rachel Gusky, and second blue, Gabe Gusky. On deck, we have the 2 to 3-year-old with Nora Briggs and Rachel Gusky from the Countrysiders 4-H Club.
Well, as we jump out here in this next class, I think the young man's go. I'm going to go ahead and lead off with kind of just the same. I'm a very big structure guy, and I think structure always breeds longevity. And I think that's especially in a doe kid scenario just like this. I think longevity just reads to be better for me. And the young man's doe, she's a little more busted open up front. Her rib cage is a little more progressive, and kind of like I talked in the last class about hop set, she's just a little bit more secure there in terms of her hind leg in comparison to the young ladies though in second. And to me, I think as I look at longevity and structure down the road, I'm just one that if you can read it up front, you can read it all the way through, and maternal traits and maternal value comes from the openness of the rib cage in terms of their underlying quality as well. So I just see a little bit more production-oriented value, just a little bit more longevity in the young man's go up front. Nothing to take away from the young ladies go that comes in second. If you want to argue her in terms of structure, of just maybe being a little bit better down her top line, she's definitely better there. She's probably better when she's laid back at her knee and how her foot relates to the surface of her front foot in comparison to the one right ahead of her. I just don't know if she's just quite as good off that back end of her skeleton. I don't know if she just had a little bit more extra added set, maybe just not quite as busted open with her rib cage and opened up front as much as we need to see. But I think two very comparable those that both the exhibitors should be proud of. Let's give them a hand.
That was the senior yearling, 12 to 24 months. First blue goes to Sven Briggs, and second blue goes to Nora Briggs. Now entering the ring is 2 to 3-year-olds with Nora Briggs and Rachel Dusky from the Countrysiders 4-H Club, and then on deck is the 3 to 4-year-olds with Gabriel Dusky from the Countrysiders.
We're going to go ahead and elect to use the young lady's darker heighted dough up front to go ahead and start. And just kind of reiterating things that, as I've said before, I think just in terms of productive value and maternal productivity there, I think it's just a little bit better. Like we've kind of just said all day so far, I think just in terms of body and in terms of rib cage, she's probably the smoother outline. She's probably the smoother outline going out here as well. Just being a little bit further along in her condition. I don't think that bothers me at all either. I think she gives the smoother appearance in her outline. I think she's better in her rib cage there as well. And obviously, it's a little bit bigger and better in terms of her outline and her look from the side. I thought she was a very logical place for me to start. And, nothing taken away from the young lady's more brownish colored one that comes in second. I think she's awfully done her job so far in her young life from just being a 2-year-old. But one that I think if we could just maybe size her up a little bit more in comparison to the one right ahead of her, maybe just pop her open a little bit more in terms of the front end and the rib cage. I think we could really see her maybe project just a little bit better there, just to show her and setting where we're at. Maybe just power her up just a little bit ever so slightly. But I like the internal value there as well. Let's give both these young ladies a good name.
That was our 2 to 3-year-old class. First blue goes to Nora Briggs. Second blue goes to Rachel Dusky. Entering the ring is Gabe Dusky with his 3 to 4-year-old. On deck is Sven Briggs from the Countrysiders 4-H Club with his 4 to 5-year-old. Well, I think an awfully good single entry as we jump in here, the 3 to 4-year-olds. I think the one that has held her body composition awfully well. She's gotten a little bit farther along in terms of age and obviously being put in production just a few more years than what we've seen the ones in the previous class. And just like I said, I think in terms of body composition, she looks good. I like her in terms of her structure. She's good in terms of her outline. good in terms of the rib cage, in terms of the production-oriented value of what I look for. I think maternally, I think her udder quality looks very, very good. Maybe if we could just pop her up on her pastures just as she hits the surface ever so slightly. It's just for the guy in the mind. I'd like to see her just maybe fix a little bit structurally. But one I like from the side, one that I like in motion, I like a lot of things about. Let's give the young man a hand.
And that would be Gusty with his 3 to 4-year-old. Entering the ring is Sven Briggs from the Country Studies Forage Club with his 4 to 5-year-old. And then on deck is Rachel Gusty with her 5 and older.
Well, another really good single entry. We jump in here in the 5-year-old though, and I think one probably that I'll have to say is the best one in terms of udder quality of all those that are freshened up. And I think I think just in terms of a production-oriented setting, I think her feed placement's very, very good. I like her udder quality there. And then we get past that. I think just as we've talked all day, not to sound like a broken record, but one again that's very, very good in terms of her body shape, in terms of her rib cage. Probably one of the more flawless ones that we've seen set into motion as well. And I think we should take that into high regard as she's gotten up there a little bit farther along in age and still be that practical and that good as we set her in motion. I think it shows a lot about her productive value as well. So I think another really good single entry. Let's give the other man a hand.
And now is Sven Briggs from the Country Studies Forage Club with his 4 to 5-year-old. And entering the ring is Rachel Gusty with her 5 and older. If you received first or second clue, we'll do a champion drive next. And we're just going to do first clues.
Young lady brings out her 7-year-old doe here in our final doe class of the dairy division, and I'll be the first one to say I hope the wind helps us at least in terms of heat and humidity. Hopefully it doesn't bother us too much on the microphone today. But young lady's doe that comes out, I really like her in terms of the silhouette from the side. She's really up-fronted. I just love how tall-fronted she is. That's one of the things I definitely gradually look forward to kind of any species. I think that's always a good place to start. And again, another one that's flawless as we set her on the go. One that's good and productive and maternal looking in terms of her mid body. One that I think is also good in terms of the maternal value, in terms of her udder down there as well. So I think another good structured one that I really enjoy in terms of her front and her body. Be interesting to see as we get her out here in the champion drive next. But once again, it's good to be
And now is Rachel Gusty with her 5 and older doe. In the ring, we need Rachel Gusty with her senior kid, Sven Briggs with his senior yearling, Nora Briggs with her 2 to 3-year-old, Gabe Gusty with his 3 to 4-year-old, and Rachel Gusty with her 5 and older.
class winners back out here. I like the picture that we paint all the way from our youngest one all the way up to our 7-year-old here. I think they all bring back what I've been looking for, check a lot of the boxes for me. Like we've said all day, in terms of production-oriented value, they all come out and they're up-fronted, they're good structured. As we set them on the go, as we walk back out here, I think it's just for me, I think it's trying to find the outliers in terms of how they hold their body composition together and also balance that up in terms of being mamas and being in production as well. So I think there's a pair of them. I'll go out and find your champion reserve. Let's give all these dairy goaties and birders a round of applause. I'll go out and find my top two.
Our champion from the Nubian breed is Rachel Gusky with her 5 and older, and our reserve is Gabe Gusky with his 3 to 4-year-old. Entering the ring with any other breed of dairy is Gabriel Gusky from the Countryside Storage Club. Are you ready? Are you ready? We're going to go get some bells. Entering the ring will be Dave Gusky from the Countryside Storage Club with his senior kid, and then on deck will be Rachel Gusky from the Countryside Storage Club with her junior yearling.
One other really good single entry out here is we got here in the AOB division. One that I really like in terms of her youthfulness. I think her body type's really good. I like her structure as well. I think she moves off the front end of her skeleton. When she does want to move, I think she gets out there and does that in very good fashion. I think I like her really well in terms of how she uses her rear wheels as well. So I think really good single entry. Let's go give it a hand.
That was Dave Gusky from the Countryside Storage Club with his senior kid. Entering the ring will be Rachel Gusky from the Countryside Storage Club with her junior yearling, and on deck will be Rachel Gusky with her 4 to 5-year-old.
Another good single entry is the young lady brings us out one that I really, really like. This one's probably one of the more ones that we've seen in terms of my type and kind so far today. So busted open in the rib cage. I love her body composition. She gets out and goes as well. I think it's awfully, awfully good there. Really good off the front end of her skeleton. Very, very tall front and long neck up there. Really gives us a real feminine look, and it gives us a very good maternal body shape there. If we want to change her so slightly, I think at times when we view her, I think she wants to kick her hind legs in ever so slightly. But I think very good in terms of structure past that. Really good in terms of her body as well. Let's give the young lady.
That was Rachel Gusky with her junior yearling. Entering the ring will be Rachel Gusky from the Countryside Sports Club with her 4 to 5-year-old.
There's a single entry again out here, and I think one that paints a very, very good picture from the side. Love her color and just her pelt color as well. I think that makes her just a little bit more unique as well, and one that's so youthful in her appearance in terms of her silhouette from the side and her front end as well. Love the productive value of this one. Let's do the end of the game.
That was Rachel Gusky with her 4 to 5-year-old. Up next, we'll have the champion drive for the any other dairy goats. So we Dave Gusky with the senior kid, Rachel Gusky with her junior yearling, and Rachel Gusky with her 4 to 5-year-old.
Boy, bring all 3 of our single entries back out here in the champion drive. And like I said in class, and I think we talked in running up in class, I just thought there was one that probably fits me in terms of body type, in terms of what I look forward to projecting those boxes for me. And I think another one that's also flawless in terms of her structure. That's tried and true, and I don't think you can get away from that. I think 3 really good entries that come out of their own single divisions. Let's give all 3 of these exhibitors a hand. I'll go find you a very short.
We're going to do our overall grand champion dairy goat. So we're going to need Rachel Gusky with her 4 to 5-year-old Nubian and her junior yearling from any other breed. Dairy goat. On deck, we'll start our pygmy goats. We'll start with senior kids with Rylan Ebler and Jasmine Kangas, both from the Countryside 4-H Club.
Well, as we get back out here in our champion drive, and I think two of them, I'll be the first to admit, yes, they're different in where they're at in terms of their lifespan, in terms of production. The brown one's definitely farther along in terms of where she's at in her lifespan, and then we got the younger, greener one that maybe just hasn't quite got there yet, but I think good livestock are good livestock. One, regardless of species, where else they're at in their lifespan. I think for me, I think there's one that just fits a little bit better, but I think we both have to commend both of these for where they're at. We're going to use the one closest to me to be our champion. We're going to use the one farther away from us to be our reserve. Let's give this young ladies, set young ladies a good hand.
The grand champion, dairy goat, will be Rachel Gusky from the Countryside 4-H Club with her junior yearling. Entering the ring will be the start of our pygmy goats with our senior kid with Braylon Ebler and Jasmine Kangas.
We'll get out here in our pygmy division, and I think you could easily argue our cutest division that we've seen so far today. I think we're just leaving us the way they come in. The young lady to my left in the red shirt is going to go ahead and be first. I just think in terms of front end quality and just body shape as well, there's a little bit more production, a little more growth there at this stage of the game, and I think she just paints a better picture when we look at it as well. I think that was an easy one to go ahead and start. Take nothing away from the young lady in second. I think one that can get out the road just as good as any of them. Maybe just loses a little bit in terms of silhouette from the side. Maybe just not quite as extended and cool looking up front. But I think two awful good ones that are also cute in their appearance as well. Let's give the two young ladies a hand.
Our first blue goes to Braylon Ebler from the Countryside 4-H Club. Our second blue will go to Jasmine Kangas, also from the 4-H Club. Entering the ring will be Aaliyah Kangas with her senior yearling, and then we'll have our champion drive for the pygmy goats.
Just a single entry out here, but I think one we got to appreciate a bunch. She's captivating in terms of her body shape. Love her setter in motion. I think one that's good in terms of her feature down low. I think there's a lot of good about her here. I think this one could definitely stand some more competition in this particular division. But with that, just a good single entry here. Let's give the young lady a hand.
Okay. Our first blue in the senior yearling will go to Aaliyah Kangas from the Countryside 4-H Club. Braylon Ebler will lead your senior kids for the champion drive. and Piggy Goat will start our meat goat breeds. We'll start the class off with the junior yearling shown by Mackenzie Knudsen from the Prairie Farm at the club.
It would be a future teller. I don't know if this would be the same way what we're going to do today as it goes on, but I think just today, I think there's one logical place in my mind just to check where I lay my priorities and check the boxes for me. The young lady up front will be our champion. The young closest to me will be our reserve. I think two really, really good individuals. Let's give them both a hand.
Entering the ring, our champion Pygmy Goat will be Aaliyah Kangas, and our reserve champion will be Braylon Edler, both from the Countrysiders 4-H Club. Entering the ring will be the start of the meat goat breed, Mackenzie Knudsen with her junior yearling from the Prairie Farm FFA. On deck will be Gabe and Rachel Gusky with their 2 to 3-year-olds from the Countrysiders 4-H Club.
Just a single entry here as we started a more meat-goat type division out here. One that I really just got to commend a good job as well. One that I think the guys in Mike will appreciate a lot. But we get past that. I think there's good stock there as well. I think she's good in terms of her hip and her hind leg and when she gets down, assemble. We look at the other end of her skeleton there. She's short, she's shallow in terms of her chest. She's good in terms of her shoulder blade. Good and long in terms of her front end as well. Good down her top line in terms of handle quality. Really good in terms of her rate progression as well. Be good to see that one come back out and drive. And honestly see some more competition. I think she's pretty good. Let's get the young lady again.
That was Mackenzie Knudsen getting first move with her junior yearling. Entering the ring will be Gabe Gusky and Rachel Gusky from the Countryside First Club with their 2 to 3-year-old.
We get out here, and I think there's 2 different types and kinds as you get out, as you kind of study them. I think the one that's probably more my speed in terms of being a little more moderated in terms of her stature. She's bigger in terms of her bone and her foot size down low. One that I read is probably just a little more progressive as a reader. The backside of her shoulder, I think she's better in the forward, all the way back, and I think one that she's showing from behind, she's smoother as you get down her
shoulder blade as well. And I think that's where she wins. And if you want to use the more taller, longer, more extended version of the young man that's going to come in second, I'm not going to argue with you too much. I think if you want one that's got a little more stretch in terms of spine, a little more length in terms of the front end, I think in terms of underline quality, I think they're both shallow. I think they both are progressive enough in terms of the back for their flank. But to me, I think she just lacks a little bit in terms of bone and foot. And I think she's probably the better handling one of the two. I think she's probably a crisper, a little more square and edgy in terms of the low edge there. But I think one that maybe just gets a little too tight in terms of her heart and a little too bold in terms of the base of her shoulder. But I think two, they're awfully comfortable in terms of their conditioning, in terms of their look. I think they're just one that's one of my speed. And those young ladies, let's get both of the young exhibitors good hands.
This is our 2 to 3-year-old class in the meet goat category. First, blue goes to Rachel Gusty, and the blue will go to Dave Gusty from the Countryside 4-H class. Will Mackenzie and Rachel please bring in the meet goat blue champion reserve?
Out here in our champion drive, and I'd be the first to say that it's probably comparing apples and oranges in terms of type and kind, and in terms of type and kind, and then presentation as well. And I guess obviously no one's going to know my eating habits, but I'm probably more of an apple guy than an orange guy. The apple to me is the young lady out there in red up front. I think just in terms of presentation, body composition, and muscle shape, that's the one that I need to see go ahead and win. One that checks a lot of boxes for me. Obviously, the young lady in white's going to go ahead and be our reserve. One that I appreciate a lot about. I think it just kind of comes down to presentation, body composition as well. But I think a really good flawless one in terms of structure. One that I like a lot about in terms of internal value going forward as well. Let's put both these young ladies in here.
We will be starting our pet category with 1 year and over with Lily Knudsen from the Prairie Farm FFA. On deck, we'll start the market goat category with Rachel Gusty from the Countryside 4-H club.
Well, we bring Oliver out here in our pet division. I think an awfully good individual as well. Fits a lot of things of what we've seen out here. I can see why he's probably a little hard to let go. And make him a pet like he is. One that's really good in terms of his body, good in terms of motion. I see him be really good long term for the young lady. Let's give her a hand.
That concludes our pet category with Lily Knudsen's first group, the Prairie Farm FFA. Up next, we have the market class with Rachel Gusky from the Country Center's 4-H Club. Following this will be showmanship.
Well, again, I'm here in our one and only market goat in this particular division, and I think that one that's awfully good in terms of his structure. When he wants to give it to the young lady, I think he assembles his body very, very well. Both ends of his skeleton. I know it's not entirely my call to make, but I think rather than going rail, I think some time on feet for this guy, just maybe just get him to have a little more carcass merit to him, would be probably beneficial in his regard, and maybe to retire in regard as well. But I think one that's good in terms of his outline, one that's good in terms of his lines, and one that's really good in terms of his structure. Let's give the other lady a hand.
That was Rachel Gusky getting first blue with her market goat. We're going to be starting showmanship with the senior class with Sven Briggs, Rachel Gusky, both from the country, and Gabe Gusky from the Country Center Sports Club, and Lily Knudsen and Mackenzie Knudsen from the Prairie Farm FFA.
girls being out here, and I really didn't tell them a single position because I wanted to see one if they would figure it out, but maybe line up and maybe see if we could shake some things up a little bit more and see if the young people would keep showing to me. I thought there was one that I think just fit the bill for me. Brought one presented how I like them presented. And it comes down here with the right amount of intensity of what I like to see. And I think in terms of body posture and positioning on a particular animal, knowing where that animal's feet should be positioned at all times, and doing a good job of keeping track of that. And then I had to switch off into a different one, and I thought just kept the same intensity. And then I really made him walk and just set up for a real hot second. But I thought maybe the one that she had maybe just wasn't quite the most cooperative. The one I'm going to go ahead and start is the young lady in red. I think just in terms of, like I said, foot placement, body positioning, maintaining head control, especially when you set them in motion, I think that's probably where you set yourself apart very, very quickly. And honestly, you were the one to beat from the very, very beginning. You came in here, you had the right intensity of what I'm looking for, and then about every single time I looked at your particular go, you had her extended to the right degree of what I found. You had her in terms of body posture. I guess no offense, and this is where it comes in. Just one person's opinion today. Maybe just a little bit more on the meat goat side of things, or where I'm oriented. And I think just in terms of body posture, in terms of intensity, that's where I just felt the most comfortable to land, and then you check those boxes of what we can lay across in the entire class. So I think that we had a really good class winner there. The young lady in white that's going to go ahead and come in second. You worked really hard today. I appreciate that a lot. You definitely have one that's trained to be in the show ring. I would assume it's probably been here a big time or two, and I think that's something that comes into a matter of fact as well. Of having her weight win, it's still having her in that right mindset right now. The showmanship's a partnership, and I'm very, very big on that. I think maybe that's why we'll sort it down the line just ever so slightly as we do. Young lady white, I thought you were the one that was the second best in terms of foot placement. I thought you were the second best in terms of head placement. Where we lie, and obviously I know we got a different breed of goat here, and I know personal preference wins for her. I thought you did just as good in terms of your particular breed and where you lie in terms of body positioning, foot placement on that one, head placement is what I like to see. I think consistency is where you would go ahead and go second. Young man, it's going to round out the third. I know you worked hard today, just as good as any of them out here. I thought foot placement was just too off all the time. I think especially how that goat especially likes to stand, for some reason likes to bring her show side front leg up way too far, and just set her front Shinancho side front leg way too far back. And I think there was too many times of inconsistency to where I saw that too far offset. I thought you did really good in terms of intensity as well, head placement, especially spacing and pacing when you get them out in the go. I thought you did really, really good there. It came down to the nitty-gritty of obviously a class and where I didn't really know where I was entirely going to start, nor where I was going to go and end. And I think it was probably just one of those things, personal preference, maybe a foot placement lines in my head on my checklist for showmanship. That's probably why you lie third. And I think it's a fixable thing. And so take whatever I say as a grain of salt. You do a really good job. That's just a little place that I like to see fixed as the future goes on. Young lady in red that's going to come out before. I think one that I thought you did good as well in terms of pacing. You had a lead the line, which is not the thing that's also the most easy. And I think maybe you probably work to your disadvantage. I think sometimes you got a little farther out in comparison to the rest of them. I thought maybe we just, in terms of where we stood on the front of that one, everyone's kind of more closer. Regardless if you're racing that one or if you're just standing next to it. I thought just in terms of personal preference, we're probably just a little too far away in case something goes bad. Your reaction time to get the feet set will just be a little too slow. I'm very, very keen on being quick and efficient. I tell all my sisters at home, we show sheep, we show goats, we show pigs very, very competitively across the state, across the country. We have a 3-second time in our head of when we got to get set up. And I think sometimes we were maybe just a little bit slow. And I think when we get too far out in front of it, I think that we're losing the reaction time as well. And that's just one thing that we've learned throughout our years, and that's just something that limits high on our priority list as well. So I think in terms of just consistency of body for White, I think he did an awfully good job and showed good and hard today as well. Just as any of them, I think it's just come down to the partnership thing out here. Probably maybe just the least cooperative goat out here, and I think it definitely works to your disadvantage. I thought you were good as well in terms of intensity, knowing where you are in the ring, leg placement as well. I think there was just too much time, there was too much dancing, there was too much spinning, and then in the class where you almost stick out because of that, I think it works to your disadvantage. So no hard feelings here. You probably had another one back in the pen that maybe could have done a little bit better, but I know it's hot and things are maybe going to shake out a little bit differently in the future for you as well. So no put in your heads low. I thought easily the toughest class to sort all day. Let's give all 5 of these exhibitors a hand.
That was our senior showmanship. First blue goes to Mackenzie Canusa from the program at that thing. Second blue goes to Rachel Besky from the Countryside Sports Club. First red goes to Gabriel Besky from the Countryside Sports Club. Second red goes to Lily Canusa from the Prairie Farm at that day. And third blue goes to Sven Birch from the Countryside Sports Club. Entering the ring will be Nora Briggs from the Countryside Sports Club for the intermediate showmanship. On deck for Aaliyah Candace from the Countryside Sports Club for the junior showmanship.
Just a single entry out here in her championship position, but she's working hard all day, and we won't make her work too much harder as well. Obviously, the government just doesn't want to quite cooperate with her, and obviously the heat does things to everybody, so I'm not going to put her against her very much. She worked hard. She told me she's having fun. That's the most important part when we come to deals like this. So it's important that we keep that going forward. I thought she did really, really good all day in terms of control. I know she's done good all day in terms of having a partnership with a particular animal. So nothing to hold her against her here. I think she does an awfully good job. Let's give her a hand.
That was Nora Briggs from the Countryside Sports Club receiving first blue from the intermediate showmanship. Entering the ring from Aaliyah Candace with the junior showmanship from the Countryside Sports Club, and following Aaliyah will be our open class with Billy.
The young ladies having fun here as well, just like I said, probably the most important part. I think she did really, really good. Finding a way to showmanship partner out here. That's really good in terms of getting those feet set. I like where she's positioned on that particular bow. Definitely really good in terms of just knowing the rope, knowing where she needs to be placed. I think the future is bright for you. So let's give her a hand once again, and I'm here in this showmanship division.
That was Aaliyah Candace from the Countryside Sports Club receiving first blue in her intermediate junior showmanship. Up next, entering the ring will be Lily with the junior yearling.
forward to the championship. I think this one fits a lot of the bills that I'm looking for. Very feminine and youthful in terms of her front end. One that's good and progressive as she looks out for her body. Good in terms of her structure and set her in motion. I think the young man's got a pretty good future going forward with this one. Let's go ahead and give him a hand.
That was Billy with his junior Nubian. Up next we have Billy with his any other dairy goat, 2 to 3 year old.
Very similar to one that we just seen. Obviously, just a little bit older in age, but then one that's good in terms of the front end, low body composition as well, and holds herself together very, very well. She's obviously been oriented more to the production aspect of her life. Really, really appreciate that about her. Young man, definitely done a good job. This one sets up really good for him. Let's go ahead and give him a hand.
That was Billy with his any other dairy goat, 2 to 3 year old. Up next we have Billy with his pet goat.
Young man brings us another good single entry. This fits the bill, just like we said all day. Definitely checks a lot of the boxes. Definitely been productive in this time so far. I think a really, really good single entry here. I think another good entry he brings to us is, especially as I should ask him where he gets his hair done. I think the young man's got a pretty good moment going back there with some pretty cool curls. So I think we ought to give him a hand for that. Let's give him a hand as he walks out.
That was Billy with his pet goat, receiving blue. Thank you everybody for our goat show. We'll be starting Little Shepherd shortly.
everybody out here. Our first group is going to be 8-year-olds. And we'd like to just let you know, each kid will be getting a bag of goodies. And make sure when your child gets that bag, there's ice cream sandwich coupons that were donated by the junior leaders. So make sure you're giving them those bags and getting those free ice cream sandwich coupons. Hi, how are you today? Can you let everybody know your name?
Levi Levy.
And Levi, where's your family in the stands? Is family okay? Levi, what's your favorite part of the fair?
Strong sheep.
Thank you, Levi. We're going to make a big circle. Hi, what's your name?
David.
And Brayden, where's your family? Let's make them do a wave. Yep, they're waving over there. And Brayden, what's your favorite part of the fair?
Rides.
Oh, he rides. Okay, follow Levi. Hi, what's your name?
Owen.
Bowen? Do you have family here too? Where's Bowen's family? Let's give a big wave. There they are. And Bowen, what's your favorite part of the fair?
Showing sheep.
We got a lot of good sheep showers here. Let's make a big loop. Hi, how are you today? And what's your name?
Marshall.
Marshall, where's your family? Can they give a big wave to you? Do you see them in the stands? Do we see big waves from the family? They're here somewhere, I'm sure. And what's your favorite part of the fair?
One ride.
Thank you. Have fun at the fair. Hi, how are you today? What's your name? And Ellie, where's your family? Can they give a big wave? Are they over there? And what's your favorite part of the fair? Playing games. Well, you have fun at the fair. Let's make a big loop. After the judge here places them, we're going to place first, second, and third, and we get some medallions. We're going to take a picture with our fairest to the fair over there. So make sure if you get a medallion, you head that way. And as you exit the ring, we want you to exit over here also, okay?
I've always said in the handful of shows I've been fortunate to judge, little kid showmanship's always probably been the hardest one. But I think it's awfully cool idea that you guys got going on here. And honestly, the species that probably hits me the hardest the most, I'd love to see the future of the sheep industry up here. It is in pretty good hands. There's some really good showing out here. I won't take anybody's day out in the heat or anything too longer. I think it's really cool. A really cool idea here. I think from the very get-go, the young man up front with the southbound is going to go ahead and be first in this particular class. And then I think it gets a little tougher after that. I think the young man in black, right in the middle, does an awful good job as well. He's going to go ahead and be second. And then I think those two are really good exhibitors out here. And honestly, being third is probably one of the hardest things to pick. But for me, I think his boots are pretty cool. The young man with the navy pink, that's going to go ahead and help him. It's going to go ahead and move forward. Let's give all of them a round of applause.
If you got a medal, we want you guys to take a picture, okay? So come on up. The rest of you, let's exit through here so you guys can get your bags. We're going to welcome our 6 and 7-year-olds into the ring next. While they're getting ready to come in, I want to throw out some thank yous. The Barron County Junior Livestock Show and Sale Committee, the Worth family, Mark and Tanya Raby, Sarah Waldron, and all of her helpers in the Extension office for everything we've done to get ready between social media, posters, and anything else that comes up. And anybody else out there, we want a huge thank you. Hi, how are you? What is your name? Harper, can you give a wave, or your family give a big wave? They're over there. Harper, what's your favorite part of the fair? Animals. I love animals. Thank you. Hi, can we have your name?
Brandon.
Brandon, let's hear your family. Can they give a big wave? They're over there, Brandon. What's your favorite part of the fair?
The ride.
Well, you have fun at the fair. Hi, how are you tonight? What's your name?
Felix.
And Felix, where's your family? Can they give a big wave? They're in the corner. What do you like about the fair?
The ride.
The rides. Well, have fun, Felix. Hi, how Hi, River, where's your family? Can they give a big wave? There they are. And what do you like about the fair?
The ride.
Awesome. You have fun. Hi, how are you tonight? Well, Dusty, where's Dusty's family? There they are. What do you like about the fair?
There's the boat ride.
Awesome. You have fun. Hello, how are you tonight?
Good.
And what's your name?
Piano.
And where's your family? Can they give a big wave? Can we see them over behind us? They're over there. And what do you like about the fair?
Having the computer rides.
Okay, well, you have fun on those rides. Hi, how are you tonight?
Good.
And what's your name?
Lincoln.
Well, Lincoln, where's your family? They give a big wave? They're over there. And what do you like about the fair?
Rides.
Rides. You have fun at the fair, okay, Lincoln? Hi, how are you tonight?
Good.
And what's your name?
Jory.
Jory, where's your family? Can they give a big wave? There they are. What do you like about the fair?
Playing with your friends.
Awesome. Well, you have a good time playing with your friends at the fair. How are you tonight?
Good.
And what's your name?
Ida.
Ida, where's your family? There they are. They're giving a big wave. What do you like about the fair?
That I get to show you.
Awesome. Well, you have fun walking that sheep, okay? Hi, how are you tonight?
Good.
And what's your name?
Vivian.
And Vivian, where's your family? Can they give a big wave? They might be able, there they are. I see them right there. And what do you like about the fair?
The rides.
The rides. Will you have fun on the rides? Hi, how are you tonight?
Good.
And what's your name?
Riley.
Riley, what do you like about the fair? And where's your family? Can they wave? There they are. You have fun. Hi, how are you tonight?
Good.
And what's your name?
Scout.
And so, where's your family? Can they give a big wave? There they are. And what do you like about the fair?
The ride.
Awesome. Have fun. Hi, how are you tonight? And what's your name? Evelyn. Where's Evelyn's family? Can they give a big wave? There they are. And let's see, what do you like about the fair?
Playing on the ride.
Oh, we have a lot of likable rides here at the fair. Hopefully we get to go on them. Hi, how are you tonight?
Good.
And what's your name?
Jacob.
And Jacob, do we have Jacob's family that can give a big wave out there? There they are. And Jacob, what do you like at the fair?
Cherry.
Awesome. That's a good thing. You have fun at the fair. Hi, how are you tonight? And what's your name?
Addie.
And Hattie, do we get a big wave from Hattie's family? There they are. And Hattie, what do you think about the fair?
Everything.
Great answer. You have fun, Addie. Hi, how are you tonight?
Good.
And what's your name?
Yeah.
And Theo, where's your family? Can they go a big wave? There they are. And what do you like about the fair?
Ride.
Rides? Okay, you have fun on those rides. Hi, how are you tonight? And what's your name?
Pepper.
And Harper, where's your family? Can they go a big wave? And Harper, what do you like about the fair? Awesome. I'm gonna move here. Hi, how are you? And what's your name? Loretta, where's your family? They can get. And where's your family? Can they go to big wave? There they are. And what do you like about the fair?
The ride and slowly.
Awesome. Well, you have fun on the rides and showing that sheep, okay? Hi, how are you tonight?
Good.
And what's your name?
Bill.
And Bill, where is your family? There they are. And what do you like about the fair?
Ride.
Awesome. We got a lot of kids who like those rides. Judge, there is your class.
Well, once again, a really, really good class, and it's hard to pick three, I'll be honest, and not just because there's probably 20 to 25 of them out here, it's because they're all really, really good, they're all really, really close, and then just the future is that bright. To me, I think, I thought there was two young ladies that I thought probably set themselves apart from the get-go, and then finding a third out of probably the other 17 to 22 of them out here, when they're all really, really good, and the future is really bright for them all. For me, I think of the two young ladies, I thought there was one that probably just kept doing the best job out here. They probably had one of the well better shape. The young lady in the pink, the south hand right in the middle is going to go over to first. The young lady over here kind of off right and going by herself with the gold suit's going to go ahead and be second. And then I think there was a young man that I think should probably working just as hard as any of them out here. Young man in black. With the young man from the room open, he's going to go ahead and be third right over there. So let's give them all a round of applause. They all worked hard. They all did good.
Thank you to all of our exhibitors and family members for having this class. As you can see, I think our sheep program has a bright future. all of our youth exhibitors who are helping these youth out here with these sheep all have lambs in this barn, in the next barn next to us. They have shown through the heat, the weather, the smoke, the fog, everything this week. So let's give them all a round of applause for being here this week and making it a very successful show for our sheep show. And exhibitors, when we're done with the last class, we're going to take an exhibitor photo. So don't run off, please. All those who are helping from our sheep program, please come back to the arena. Here we go. Our 5 and under year olds are coming out next. So. And family, we encourage clapping, yelling, make them feel like they're excited to show these sheep. How are you tonight? What's your name?
Avery.
And Avery, what do you like about the fair? Animals. Well, you have fun at the rest of the fair. Hi, how are you tonight? What's your name? Cooper, what do you like about the fair? And Cooper's family, are you around? There they are. And I forgot about Avery's family. Where's Avery's family? There they are. Well, you have fun at the fair, okay? Hi, how are you? And what's your name? And where's your family? Are they out there staying somewhere? There they are. And what do you like about the fair? The sheep? You like the sheep? What's the best part of the sheep you like? Okay, you like that one? Awesome. Have fun. Hi, how are you tonight? And what's your name?
Samuel.
And Samuel. Can Samuel's family give a big yell or wave? There they are. Samuel, what do you like about the fair?
Horses.
Horses. You've had fun then at the fair. Hi, how are you tonight? How are you tonight? And can you tell us what your name is? Alvin. Where's Alvin's family? Are they out there in the stands? Awesome, there they are. And what do you like about the fair? Awesome, you like the cows. Well, you have fun with the rest of the fair, okay? Hi, how are you tonight? And what's your name? Aubrey, where's your family, Aubrey? Where are they? There they are. What's your favorite part of the fair?
Selling your sheep.
Awesome, good job. You have fun showing that sheep. Hi, how are you tonight? And what's your name? Miss Hayes, where's Miss Hayes' family? Can they give a wave? They're over there, yes. What do you like about the fair?
The cows.
The cows. Well, you have fun with the rest of the fair, okay? Hi, how are you? What's your name? And where's your family? Where are they? I think they're over there. I see them. And what do you like about the fair? The animals, awesome. You keep showing that sheep, okay? Hi, how are you tonight? And what's your name? Okay. And where's your family at? They're over there. What do you like the fair? You like that sheep? Awesome. You have fun. Hi, how are you tonight? And what's your name? And Cooper, where's your family at? Over there? Cool. And what do you like about the fair? Awesome. Another sheep shower we got. Have fun at the fair. Hi, how are you tonight? What's your name? Harlan, where's your family at? Good. They look maybe they're waving over there. There they are. And what's your favorite part of the fair? Awesome. That's great. You have fun the rest of the fair, okay? Hi, how are you tonight? And what's your name? Hey, Cora, where's your family, Cora? Where are they? Big waves from Cora's family. I'm here, these people yelling. And Cora, what's your favorite part of the fair? The rides? Okay, well, you have fun on the rides. Hi, how are you tonight? What's your name? Levi? Is this Levi? Where's Levi's family? And Levi, what's your favorite part of the fair? He likes to play, he says. Okay. Come this way. See if you can wave him up. Hi, how are you? And what's your name? And Jackson, where's your family at? Are they out there? There they are. Hi, Lucia. And what's your favorite part of the fair? Awesome. Well, you have fun, okay? Hi, how are you tonight? Can you tell us your name? Are you Crew? Where's Crew's family? There they are. What do you like about the fair? You like the animals? You have fun at the fair. Hi, how are you tonight? Can you tell us your name? Avery. Avery. Where's Avery's family? There they are over there. Avery, would you like coming to the fair? Yeah. You have fun showing that sheep, okay? There you go, good. Here's your class.
Just saying to the lady behind me, this is probably going to be the hardest thing I've had to probably do in my coaching career. I've competed at national contests and for the WT college, and there's nothing that prepares you for 5-year-old championship. And I think cuteness comes in a factor. I think futuristic value of which all of them are going to be a little bit down the road for sure. But I think there's a couple of them that I think stick out that are probably just a little bit ahead of their age. And honestly, if the fact when I was 5, I'm not going to say how many years ago, because I'll probably shock some of you guys in the crowd for how young I actually am. But with that, I thought there was probably 3 of them that stick out to me. To me, it's going to be the young man in the gray. 4th from the right, it's going to go ahead and win our particular division. Then I think it comes down close between a pair of them. To me, I thought there was one that maybe just has a better handle of where she's at. The young lady on the far right was going to go ahead and be our 2nd place. And I thought there was somebody, a little boy out here that rivaled her pretty good. The young man with the white shoe right here. We're going down them being 3rd. They all did a great job. Let's give them all a hand.
We want to thank our 5-year-olds and their helpers. Most importantly, we want to thank again all the sheep members for taking the time today to share their sheep with us. Can we give them another round of applause, please? And also to all of our exhibitors, we hope you had fun with your sheep and enjoy your ice cream sandwich coupons soon. And thank you all the parents for bringing your children, grandparents, anybody who helped with that. It was very fun to watch these kids show these sheep. Thank you all for coming. If we have any of the older youth that showed today, is interested in showing in our sheep program in 4-H, we're going to have some of our youth exhibitors out here to talk to those kids and they can ask questions, they can kind of tell them what they do, how they prepare their sheep, and maybe then they'll have some interest in bringing out all these exhibitors or joining 4-H and showing in our sheep show. So come on out to the ring. And remember our exhibitors in the lamb program, please come out, we want to take a picture. But we need the youth exhibitor people. I think we got enough sheep, so if we can just fill in with youth now, that would be great. have any more visitors that need to come and join the group picture that's in the barn?
Yeah, check this spot down. We're going to have to kind of get close a little bit. Really wide. Okay, the rest of you step in. We took some. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Okay, 1, 2, 3, here. Thank you. Appreciate you all. Thank you. Wait, everybody sit right here. Don't sit right here.
Our senior showman, there is that meeting over in the corner of the dairy barn. So if anybody's hearing me, our senior showmen that took the senior champions, please report to the dairy barn over here in the corner next to the lamb barn.